Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name's Rochelle and I'm here to do a reading for Aquarius. Wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, we all have it somewhere. So there could be something in here for you. That is my intention. Please take what resonates, leave the rest because you know your story best. And I am covered in kitty fur. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um yeah, so I'm going to be doing a general reading, whatever comes out. I'm going to be using my Wisdom of the Oracle deck to begin, and then I'll clarify with some other decks. And JoJo is here. Thank you so much. And thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. All right, let's dive in. For Aquarius, we've got Happy Happy. Oh, this might be my favorite card in the deck. Certainly top 5. Message in a bottle in protection. Between worlds. Definitely going to need to clarify this. You know, the happy happy card, it speaks to feeling joyful, feeling somewhat carefree, happy with what's going on in your world. And so message in a bottle and protection. This is about needing to pay attention to the messages that are around you, pretty much all the time. Um, you want to become more fluent in how the universe speaks to you, how your higher power speaks to you, because there's some kind of message that you're supposed to get that is going to help you move from one place to another. And that's why I'm a little bit like, because it could be it could be one of those things where, when we're happy, when we're just going about our life and things are good, we're like, why change anything? Everything's fine. I don't need to do anything. It's usually those times when things are difficult, when we kind of get to that point where we're like, okay, I don't know what to do. This is really difficult. This is really painful. I, like we're kind of pushed, sometimes forced to make a change. And so it could be that right now you're so caught up in things being fine, feeling good, that you don't really feel very motivated to make a change, even though maybe you kind of see subtle hints of needing to make a change. There's some kind of message that you might be missing here, because for as happy as you are, there's more happiness on the other side. um there's, could be something about wearing rose colored glasses where you're kind of missing something that is kind of, a subtle, the clouds. I happen to love clouds. I love gray days, but that metaphor of not being in full color. And this is also a card of limbo. It's like it's not totally gray, but it's not totally bright. It's kind of it's the in between. You know what I want to do? Let me look in my little book here. I want to look at message in a bottle in protection. Are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. So So yeah, there are signs. There are messages that you're ignoring for some reason. And maybe you're trying to pretend everything's fine. Yeah, there's something that needs your attention. So I'm going to go to the Light Seers deck and clarify this. What is going on? What's going on here for Aquarius? Two of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Hmm. Not as happy as you would like people to believe you are. You have some kind of choice you need to make. That you're having a really hard time with. You may be having trouble sleeping, and it, it's something about a new beginning. Maybe communicating that something that is important to you, but this is what's causing this in between. This is about wanting what you want and ignoring the red flags. And you know this because it keeps you up at night. It's got you all in your head. There's a lot of anxiety here. But, during the day in the light, you're like, "Oh, everything's fine. Yeah, no problem." But it creeps in because there's something that you're meant to choose. There's a direction you're meant to go that you don't necessarily want to, that maybe it involves some kind of effort. You need to build up your skills, your knowledge. We've got kitties going crazy right now. um yeah, okay. So you have anxiety about a new beginning. Okay, let me go to my, what am I gonna do? I'm going for my black deck. Ooh, hello, Carzel. Welcome. All right, so it's this Two of Pentacles. We've got the Emperor, Aries energy, Six of Wands, and King of Cups. So Two of Pentacles, it can be a choice. It can also be juggling. Are you juggling? You're This feels like you could be juggling a couple of different people. Mm. Um, one of them makes you happy, but is it a genuine happiness? One person could be have Aries in their chart. One could have water in their chart. Uh, uh, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. With the Six of Wands, maybe you're doing something where you're kind of above the crowd. He's on the horse and people are around watching. And, there could be a couple people vying for your attention. And it feels like that classic thing where in a romantic situation where it's like there's the two people and one of them you're very there's a lot of chemistry, they're very attractive, they've got all these elements that you really like, but there's something there where you know they're probably not good for you, but you're still drawn to them. And then there's another person who's clearly a better choice in the long run, but maybe they're just not as flashy. You know, the emperor is very authoritative and control, likes to be in control of his realm, whereas the king of cups a very different energy, very much softer, kinder, very gentle, um, compassionate, much more willing to work with a situation, with the people around him. Um, and so, eh, and so there's here you are kind of juggling. Yeah, there's some kind of juggling, trying to find balance in this situation. So and at 9 of swords, yeah, I keep looking at that and I'm like, this is a difficult situation for you because there are red flags and you don't want to see them, but you do. You do see them anyway. We have strength, Leo energy, the fool, and the hanged man. This situation is requiring you to have strength. Um you want to take a leap of faith. But until you figure out decisively what it is you're going to do, you're left in this place of not being able to move forward, not being able to act. You're having to gain some kind of new perspective first before you can have a new beginning. And also, it takes strength to take a leap of faith. Taking a leap of faith, it means that you're doing something is that's very risky, that it could totally crash and burn. Taking a leap of faith isn't always something that's going to work out. And that's why it takes strength. And that's why you need a different perspective, because right now you're focusing on the fear, your fear of things not working out, of there's yeah the feeling stuck, knowing what you need to do deep down, but wanting what you want and not necessarily feeling inclined to make a certain choice. And so here you are in this kind of in limbo, in limbo. So Page of Pentacles is clarified by the 7 of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the 9 of Pentacles. So it kind of feels like a third party situation, you and a couple others. And there's a defensiveness here. You're fighting, you're fighting, trying to hold them back, maybe while you take time to figure out what to do to gain that new perspective. Because especially, you know, you're not you're not open to, like, maybe in the past you've been, um just kind of like happy go lucky, like, oh, everything's fine, it'll work out, let's just have a good time. And you're realizing now that it's causing too many problems. And so you're kind of holding back. You're like, no, we can't just have fun and pretend that everything's fine, because it's not. And so you're focusing on yourself. You're realizing that this is about you, what's best for you, what's most important to get you to the level in your life that you want to be. It's about being independent. It's about being self-reliant, so that you can have a new beginning, so that you can move from the gray, from the gray into the super technicolor. um, where you can finally be in a place where you feel, um, you feel this happiness, genuinely. These are very similar colors here. Yeah, it feels a little tough, but you have it within you. You've got the strength, you've got the determination, the will to move yourself in the direction that's best for you. And it might take a little while to fully come to terms with what you're dealing with, what you're facing. And as you start to acknowledge the red flags, as you start to acknowledge what's not good for you, you're going to naturally start to lean towards what is good for you. So, let me get here. I'm going to use my Guardian Tarot and get a potential outcome here. We've got the Devil, one of the nicer looking Devil cards. Got the Empress. Oh, Devil, Capricorn. Empress is Libra and Taurus. Lots of major arcana cards here. This is a really big shift for you. And 9 of Cups. So, the devil could represent uh the toxic behaviors that you're leaving behind in favor of nurturing yourself and what's important to you. This is about fertility. This is about birthing something new into the world. And that could be a new way of showing up, a new way of making choices, or just making different choices. from a place of nurturing yourself and starting with yourself, then you're able to nurture others. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe that's a part of the problem here, is that because the emperor is a father and now we have the empress, maybe your situation is something like your baby daddy or your baby mama is not actually the one that you know you should be with, that there's some kind of toxicity there, but you have the child or the children, and that makes it so much harder to separate, to move towards what's actually good for you. But ultimately, it feels like you are going to make the right choice. And it doesn't have to be that way. This does feel very much like a love reading. Um, I don't know. I suppose it could be something else. It could be friends, kind of a work situation. But I'm definitely getting the love vibes here. Um, but it ultimately ends up in wish fulfillment for you. And with the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, it's like this is you choosing you. And by choosing yourself, you naturally choose what's right for you. This is about it's a glow up of sorts. The Empress always makes me think of a glow up because it's like it's finally coming to that point of knowing exactly who you are and what you want, what you're willing to allow into your life and what you're, kind of gently but firmly saying no thanks. The Empress can overcome the devil because she's been through it. She knows she knows how to recognize the devil, the red flags. And this could be your own toxic behavior. It could be somebody that you're dealing with and the reason why you need to make a choice. But ultimately it results in this happiness and this fulfillment because of you doing you, which I really like. You taking your power back. And the Empress is more powerful than the Emperor. Um, and the fact that it ends with that, it's like, whoever you're dealing with, they may have a lot of control and say in the situation, but you come out on top. So let me finish with a rune card. Ooh, Nina is here. Hi, welcome. And the dragons made it too. Hello. Hey, okay, so what do we got? Ooh, on Sue's. This just came out. Did this come out for Capricorn? This is about good fortune and abundance and nourishment. We've got the meal, we've got the fortune cookie, the fish to me represent, and one here represent, actual like uh financial fortune. So let's read from the book. On Sue's, where are you on Sue's? There you are. Okay. Strongly associated with divine communication, this rune card suggests that you need to pay close attention to messages and advice offered to you, either written or spoken. Yes, messages. Got to pay more attention to those. However, this card goes far deeper than mere external communication and indicates that the true insight you are seeking can only be found by searching within. And that's the hangman. And that's ultimately what leads you to the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups because of you doing that inner work. Learn from and be inspired by the wisdom that external voices or divine signs, such as coincidences, offer, but also be a discerning spiritual seeker from the inside out. This means doing your research. Ooh, doing your research and forming your own opinions rather than simply accepting all that you are told or presented with by others. It also means having the courage and humility to question your own assumptions and preconceptions. Personal transformation is about being open minded enough to search for what is true, even if that truth is at times uncomfortable to confront. And that's exactly what you're dealing with here. You haven't been wanting to confront the truth. And um, the messages are getting, uh, they're getting louder. Those red flags are slapping you in the face more often, and you can't ignore it anymore. You can't ignore it anymore. You need to get a good night's sleep finally. And you will, because you're finally, like I said, you're finally taking back your power, control of your life. You are the center of your universe. You are in charge of what happens to you. And if you've been giving your power away up to this point, you're not going to be doing that anymore. You're going to start to put yourself first. And like I said, that's going to make it so much easier to make the correct choices for you. The Empress knows how to make the correct choices. All right, there's your reading. Wow. I wish you well on this journey. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thank you again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.